everybody, and welcome to Jeff's Baking Blog. Today I'm going to make Swedish visiting cake. So this is a quick cake that apparently people who suddenly realise they're going to have a visitor knock this together in a couple of hours and it's ready to serve when their visitors arrive. And it's flavoured with some lemon zest and some vanilla and some almond extract, and it has a few almonds on the top. It's not a big cake, it's quite a thin cake, but it should be very, very tasty. So I start off by preheating my oven to 180 degrees Celsius, that's 160 Celsius with a fan, 350 Fahrenheit, and I've lined and floured a 9-inch cake tin, not a very deep one. I've actually put paper in the bottom of the tin and floured the sides and the paper as well, just a little bit. That's just to make it easy to take out later. So I'll go on to the ingredients. And for this I have 140 grams, which is 1 cup minus 1 tablespoon, based on scooping packed flour into a 250 milliliter cup of plain flour. I have 200 grams, 1 cup of caster sugar. I also have another 25 grams, 2 tablespoons of caster sugar to sprinkle over the top, and I'll talk about that later. I have 113 grams, 8 tablespoons of unsalted butter, which I've melted and that's cooled down. I have 2 medium eggs, which would be large in the USA. I have 1.5 grams, 1/4 teaspoon of salt. I have 2.5 millilitres, half a teaspoon of almond extract, which is very strong. I have 5 millilitres, 1 teaspoon of vanilla extract, and the zest from 1 lemon. I also have about 25 grams, 1/4 cup of flaked almonds, or shaved almonds, or slivered almonds, whatever they're called wherever you live. So that's all the ingredients, and I'm going to start off with just the sugar and the lemon zest. And the reason for that is that I want to just rub the zest into the coarseness of the sugar, and that will actually help to release some of the oils from the zest. I can smell that lemon quite strongly. So I think that's going to be good enough. And then what I'm going to do is put the eggs in one at a time. And I'm going to beat them. So that's got the first one in, and I'll put the second one in, then I'm going to beat it for a little bit longer than the first one. I want it just to thicken up slightly if I can. That's good enough like that. I should say you can do this by hand really if you wanted to. So I'm going to put the vanilla extract, the almond extract and the salt in. I'm just going to whisk that to get those mixed in a little bit. That's good enough, and that's all we need to do with the mixer, which is why I said you can do it by hand. So then I'm going to put my flour in, and I'm simply going to fold that in. Until it's fully combined. And that's good like that. So then the last thing to do with the batter is to put the melted butter in. And I'm going to, again, just fold that through with my spatula until the butter is fully combined. And that looks good like that. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to put that into my cake tin. And I'm going to level that off. Like that. And then I need to put the flaked almonds on. Now you could just put the flaked almonds on, but what I'm going to do is I'm going to just sprinkle sugar over the top. And hopefully it will help the flaked almonds adhere a little bit to the cake as it bakes. And that's probably good enough. So then I'm just going to drop the flaked almonds on. Like that. And I'm going to put that into the oven, and I'm going to bake it for between 25 and 30 minutes. I'll have a look after 25 minutes. I want to see that the edge is beginning to crisp up a little bit, and at that stage I'll take it out of the oven and I'll leave it to cool down for a little while before I take it out of the tin, and then I'll come back and show you the results. I baked the Swedish visiting cake for 30 minutes, and it had sort of begun to crisp up around the side and it looked very, very good. So I took it out of the oven and I left it for 10 minutes in the tin. Then I just ran a little palette knife around the edge, tipped it out and turned it back over. So this is what it looks like now, and it's still warm, but I understand that you can eat this warm or cold. So, and I think it would be ideal with some cream or some ice cream. So this is what it looks like, and it's baked up quite nicely. So I'll have a taste of this slice. It's nice. It has a sweetness to it, a little crunch from the almonds and from that sugar that was on the top, and I can taste the lemon and the almond and maybe the vanilla. It just enhances the flavour, and it's actually a very nice cake indeed, very, very easy to make. So this has not taken really more than an hour from starting to make it to tasting it. Maybe an hour and 10 minutes, but certainly not more than that. So it's ideal for a cake that you might want to make if you have unexpected visitors arriving. I have seen some versions that beat some egg whites with some icing sugar and stir in the flaked almonds and then just pour those over the top and brush them over. And that is another way of doing it, but the ones that I've seen most often are like this one here. So that's going to be it for this recipe, and I hope you've enjoyed it. And if you have, please give me the thumbs up below and click to subscribe to my YouTube channel. In the top right hand corner of the screen there will be an eye that you can click on, and that will take you to a link for the recipe, and I'll put a link below the video as well. And I'll be back with another recipe in the very near future. So until then, happy baking.